Hi everybody, Mark here from Illawarra Education Foundation. Welcome to today's video where I'm going to share some tips to help you to get your child to read for pleasure more. And of course, it's one of our greatest challenges as teachers and as parents to help our children to love reading. Please go to our website. You will see a one-page poster where I explain these tips. They're really straightforward and I'm going to talk about them now. Thank you. So as you can see, we have 5 great tips to help your child to read. Now it's important to understand that your child will go through ebbs and flows, so don't worry too much if your child has just gone a little bit cold on reading. Just keep an eye on it and just talk to your child about it, and if you feel as though you need to get in there and encourage, please use this form as some help. So let's look at the first one. The first one we need to understand is that reading is important. Now, I encourage you as a parent, how often do you turn the TV and computer off and have a night or two with no technology and no TV? Also, how often do you, as a parent, do we as parents actually model great reading behavior? So please get caught by your children reading a novel, reading an encyclopedia, reading a really great non-fiction text. I'll be really purist here and say I myself would not class the newspaper and a magazine perhaps as being a great example, but if that's what you guys do, it is a good start. I'd encourage you to then take that to another level. So the second thing that we can do is to have a really good selection of books available for our kids. Now, you may not know what your child likes to read or not. It might be that you say to your child, come on, grab a book, go and read in bed for half an hour or 20 minutes before the light goes out. Now, the shelves may be filled with books, but to your child, he or she is just not interested. So just get in there, just say, look, I need you to sort these books out. I've given a couple of ideas there that you've got the interesting pile and the other pile. Now you might have a better idea than that, but essentially you're just trying to weed out the books that you know just won't get read. Now of course that's only they won't get read at that point in time. There are many reasons why they won't be read, and you can talk about that later on with a child, but as soon as you work out what can be read, that is a great start to then put them into action. So the third tip I have is to make reading a family priority. Now I know that everybody is flat out busy. It's so hard now with both mum and dad usually working and kids with all different things that are scheduled in. But if you could try to find a good half an hour or 1 hour a week where as a family it's booked into the calendar, you have some great snacks, you might have some great refreshments, and as a family you retreat to the one space with your own books, and you just enjoy the fact that you have a time together reading. Now of course you might want to read to your children. That is awesome as well. So for you as a family, you need to decide what works for you. These of course are just my suggestions, and of course it's different for different children and different ages and different needs. So just think about what can you do to make it a family priority. Now tip number 4, just go to your local library and pick the brain of the librarians there. I've spoken to many librarians over the years and they really love it when parents and grandparents and aunties and uncles and kids themselves say, look, I'm after a book on a particular subject, or I have a friend or I have a child, and straight away the librarian will love exploring what books may suit you and your child. So please go and speak to your librarian. And also, I was actually talking to my local librarian, and I grew up in a time when I was only allowed to borrow 5 books at one time. And when my child had about 30 books, I actually thought that I'd get into trouble. But she actually said the opposite. She said, "Thank you so much for borrowing books, because our local council is starting to think that it's a waste of resources by having a library." So to everyone out there, in Australia at least, please go to your local library. Please start borrowing and show that it is a great resource that we need in our community. Now, on the last tip, tip number 5 on the page, I talk about making the reading experience a sensory experience. What do I mean by that? I mean, rather than reading just being something that involves sight, vision, where we look at the text and we use our imagination, actually make the experience sensory. So involve smells, involve comfort, the body is comfortable, and also involve the ears, and all of those great 5 senses. So I've got a couple of examples here for you. What I've found really helps my own children here at home is lighting a candle. We have a rule that when the candle is lit, we don't speak unless it's absolutely necessary. So that really helps to instill that mindfulness, that sense that, do I really need to say anything? So that's a really great tip, and it also means that we as parents don't need to keep telling our kids to be quiet. You can just say, "Candle's lit, no speaking." And in a way, the candle becomes the person, the bad cop, the bossy person telling kids to be quiet. Another thing that I have is a great spray that I spray in the room. Now, I'm not being paid to say this, but this is from an Australian company called Plant Essentials. This is a room cleansing spray. It's frankincense and sage. So you shake it up, you spray it in the room, and it really gives a beautiful smell, and it really helps to calm my children down. And of course, you just feel this great good vibes, as the spray says. And the last one I want to suggest with you is that you put some quiet music on. Please make sure there's no talking or singing in the music. It's just something, classical music, some quiet music in the background that just helps to it just helps to quieten the mood for reading. And of course, I say there in the sheet about having a really great comfortable chair. Also have some water there nearby so that you can really get in a good 40 minutes, even to an hour, a really great time so that your child can curl up with a book. Thank you so much for tuning into today's video. Please subscribe to this channel. Also, please like it and share with your friends. I want to thank everybody who's been writing comments, who have been suggesting for videos that we make here at IEF. Please go to our website. There's stacks and stacks of great resources for you. And again, thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you again.